We finally have a new Superman. James Gunn's 2025 film has hit theaters, and David Corenswet is wearing the cape. Audiences are walking out smiling. That's a massive shift from the last time Superman was rebooted on the big screen. Back in 2013, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel left fans debating for years whether Henry Cavill's version was the hero we needed or a warning about unchecked power. Now Corenswet's Superman feels instantly loved. But why? The suit, the powers, the origin, they're almost identical. The difference is in how each version makes us feel. And today we're breaking down exactly why Gunn's Superman connects where Snyder's didn't. Let's start with the heart of the character. Zack Snyder's Superman, portrayed by Henry Cavill, is Kal-El first and foremost, an alien god trying to pass for human. In Man of Steel, he drifts from job to job, isolated, burdened, hiding his powers from a fearful world. His journey is about trying to become Clark Kent, the human mask. That creates a Superman who feels distant, even cold. He's not a man with powers, he's a god debating if he should care about humans. Now, contrast that with what we've just seen from James Gunn's Superman. David Corenswet's version is Clark Kent at his core, a man from Kansas raised with old-fashioned values, humility, and a natural warmth. He just happens to have heat vision and can bench press a battleship. From the opening newsroom scenes at the Daily Planet, Clark's easygoing back and forth with Lois Lane shows his charm and empathy. Their extended early conversation, meant to be a straightforward interview, turns into playful sparring that reveals his humanity before the cape ever comes into play. This Clark First philosophy isn't just implied, it's woven into the story. Whether he's sharing a moment with Lois or showing genuine gratitude after helping someone, Corenswet's Superman treats heroism as a natural extension of who he is, not as a distant obligation. Just as their personalities differ, so do the worlds they inhabit, and that difference in tone changes everything. Snyder's Superman inhabits a muted, oppressive world. His heroics come wrapped in collateral damage and existential dread. Saving people often creates more trauma than relief. The skies are grey, the palette is drained, and even victory feels heavy. That may have worked for Batman's Gotham, but for Superman's Metropolis, it often left audiences cold. James Gunn's Superman flips that script. The film is vibrant, brighter colours, bolder action, and a palpable sense of optimism. But it's not just the visuals, it's the way Corenswet's Clark moves through the world. From his warm, slightly teasing banter with Lois in the newsroom, to the playful energy he shares with Krypto, this Superman radiates life even when he's out of costume. The difference is most visible during the kaiju attack in Metropolis. Instead of posing amid chaos, Clark immediately coordinates the Justice Gang, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, to clear civilians and contain the threat. He's not chasing spectacle, he's leading a team with purpose. That cooperative, solutions-first approach is a sharp contrast to Cavill's often solitary, reactive Superman. The aura farming meme, mocking Snyder's Superman for looking heroic without preventing catastrophe, always had exaggeration, but it stuck because audiences felt a distance. In Man of Steel, Metropolis is leveled with minimal focus on civilian rescue. In Batman vs. Superman, Superman arrives after the courthouse bombing, too late to save anyone, and later, instead of immediately telling Batman that his mother is a danger, he spends precious moments posturing, a choice we'll revisit shortly. In Gunn's Superman, that distance is gone. Clark is proactive. When political tensions erupt between Baravia and Jarhanpur, he intervenes before full-scale war can break out, disarming threats, stopping destruction, and de-escalating the conflict before it spirals. Later, during the kaiju rampage in Metropolis, Superman is at the centre of both the fight and the rescue effort, catching debris, freeing trapped civilians, and working in sync with his allies to minimise harm. Even in the pocket universe created by Lex Luthor, where his powers are weakened via Metamorpho's kryptonite, he refuses to retreat until he, Krypto, and Metamorpho with his child can escape together. The emphasis isn't on looking like a saviour, it's on being one. One of the most criticised moments in Snyder's run was the infamous Save Martha sequence. In Batman vs. Superman, the Save Martha scene was intended to humanise Superman and create common ground with Batman. On paper, the idea is simple. Bruce, about to kill Clark, hears his mother's name and is shocked into empathy. But in execution, it's abrupt, awkward, and unearned. The scene skips over crucial steps. There's no real dialogue leading up to the moment that builds trust or vulnerability. Instead, Superman spends most of the encounter fighting, threatening and throwing Batman around before blurting out the line mid-defeat. It doesn't feel like a moment of mutual understanding. It feels like a plot twist designed to end the fight quickly. The problem isn't just the meme-worthiness of Martha. It's that this was supposed to be Superman's emotional pivot, his moment to connect with Batman on a human level. And instead, it became a punchline. We never get to see him try a diplomatic approach, appeal to Bruce's better nature, or even explain the stakes before fists start flying. For a character defined by his ability to inspire others, it was a missed opportunity. In Gunn's Superman, the moral turning point plays very differently. When Lex Luthor exposes Clark's Kryptonian heritage to the world, framing him as a threat, Superman doesn't hide, and he doesn't lash out. With Lois's support, he makes the deliberate choice to turn himself in. It's an act of accountability, a public demonstration that he's willing to face scrutiny to preserve trust. That single decision speaks more to Superman's character than any fight scene could. It's about faith in people, even when they have reason to fear him. It's a kind of moral courage Cavill's version was rarely given room to show.
If tone shapes how a Superman story feels, the source material defines who Superman is at his core. Snyder's Superman was built on darker, revisionist comics like The Dark Knight Returns and The Death of Superman. Stories where Superman is compromised, beaten down, or politically weaponized. They work as what-if explorations, but as a foundation, they stripped away much of his warmth. Gunn's take draws directly from All-Star Superman, the Fleischer cartoons, and the Byrne era, interpretations that center Clark's decency, compassion, and intelligence. In the 2025 film, you see it when he reassures a frightened child during the kaiju attack, when he collaborates with his team rather than overshadowing them, and in scenes where he listens before acting. These moments aren't filler, they're the character.
Henry Cavill's Superman was stuck in a DCU that had no clear plan, no solo sequel, inconsistent tone, constant studio pivots. By the time Justice League came and went, audiences didn't know who his Superman truly was. Corenswet Superman is different. Gunn's Superman launches Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, in the new DCU. It introduces alliances with the Justice Gang, sets up future conflicts, and firmly establishes Metropolis as the emotional and visual heart of this universe. It's not a desperate course correction, it's a confident first step. This isn't about erasing Snyder's work. Zack Snyder made bold choices, and there's value in challenging the idea of Superman. But challenging something doesn't always mean improving it. Corenswet's Superman, guided by James Gunn, isn't a reinvention for the sake of novelty. It's a reminder of why this character mattered in the first place. Not because he's bulletproof or can fly, but because he chooses every day to be kind, even when the world isn't. That's what makes him super. So, which Superman do you prefer? Cavill's burdened god, or Corenswet's hopeful farm boy? Is there a portrayal of Superman throughout TV shows or movies that is your personal favorite? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't yet, make sure to watch our Lex Luthor analysis video, and if you want more deep dives into your favorite movie and TV characters, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. We've got some breakdowns coming that you won't want to miss. I'll see you in the next one.